The teacher strike is over.
We are going to find ways to take our power back.
But there could soon be more labor trouble in Alberta. Meet Calgary's new City Council, outlining their priorities for the next 4 years. And another impact of Calgary's housing crisis.
People cannot find a place to live, so they're stuck in these shelters.
Survivors of domestic violence struggle to find homes.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Now that Alberta teachers and students have returned to class, a coalition of unions are preparing to mount a general strike. Stephanie Thomas joins us from Central Memorial High School. And Stephanie, students and the labor movement continue to push back against the province.
Ian, the declaration from labor leaders is general strike if necessary. So they're not going to be pulling the pin today, but labor leaders do admit to media that they are working on getting a mobilization that would be so large scale, unlike the province has ever seen before. Now, labor leaders have been vocal with their concerns over the government's handling of contract negotiations with the Alberta Teachers Association. Back to work legislation included the notwithstanding clause, effectively stripping charter rights from teachers and forcing a previously rejected deal. The Alberta Federation of Labour says it represents 175,000 Alberta workers and has met with labor leaders from across Canada to build momentum towards a general strike. The AFL is also encouraging members to topple the UCP government and recall Premier Danielle Smith.
This government wants to take that power, our fundamental power, the power of collective action. They want to take that power away from us, and we're here today to say they are not going to get away with that, and we are going to find ways to take our power back.
It's not just within the labor movement. We're also hearing from plenty of high school students that there will be a large-scale coordinated walkout movement that begins tomorrow. The school behind me is one of 24 in the city that's participating, and we're also hearing of other walkouts in other areas surrounding the Calgary area, like Chestermere, Canmore, and Banff, but of course also in the capital as well. Ian?
Stephanie, thank you. And the province releasing more details about its plan to address classroom size and complexity. School boards will be responsible for providing data on the size of classes as well as the different types of students in schools. Incidents of aggression and violence will also be tracked. School boards have until November 24th to submit their data. By January, those numbers will be made public and then released annually. The province says its classroom size and complexity task force will ensure every student gets the attention and support they need to succeed. More details about that will be provided in the coming weeks. A new provincial survey shows many Albertans turning away from Danielle Smith's government, and the teacher strike is at least partially to blame. Leger's Government of Alberta report card shows 61% of respondents feel Alberta is headed in the wrong direction, up 10 points from May's survey. Nearly half add the strike has worsened their opinion of the Premier, while NDP leader Naheed Nenshi has seen a bump in ratings.
That's not surprising. Much of that, I think, has been due to the teacher strike. And I'll be very interested to see if, when we get polling now that the strike's over, and how the government went about doing that, do they get a bump, or are they hurt even more from how they did it, as opposed to what they did?
Leger's survey polled 1,045 voting-aged Albertans online. Because it was an online survey, no exact margin of error can be calculated, but it's estimated to be no greater than 3%, 19 times out of 20. Staffing levels within the Calgary Police Service are the primary concern for members, according to an internal survey. Only 11% of members believe the service is staffed adequately. When it comes to frontline officers, that number drops to 6%. Employees say not having enough staff leads to safety risks, slow response times, and poor investigative follow-up. Support for senior leadership is at 36%, which is up from 30% last year. And for the third straight year, their employee morale is trending upwards. More than 1,600 staff were polled online between July and August for the 2025 CPS Employee Engagement Survey. Calgary's new city council is set to be sworn in just under an hour. Jordan Canagan is at City Hall with more. And Jordan, after the ceremony, they'll get right to work.
And Ian, today it becomes official. Calgary's new mayor will be Jeremy Farkas. Alongside his new council will be sworn in, 10 of which are brand new faces this time around. And they'll all have family and friends on hand for the swearing-in ceremony, which will be taking place in council chambers behind me. Before that today, though, it was picture day, the group getting together on the steps of Old City Hall. That is where they're transitioning into new offices as well. They're also hiring staff. It will be down to business very soon, and they only have a few weeks until they have to make major decisions on the city budget. Speaking to Dan McLean, a returning councillor, he says he's optimistic a new-look City Hall will take Calgary in a different direction. Also at the top of the list of priorities for many councillors, repealing blanket rezoning and determining a new path forward for land use rules in Calgary. Also, each representative having their own priorities for their individual wards.
Accountability was my #1 issue, right? And that's finding if there's waste, we're going to cut it, right? And if there's underfunded programs, we're going to fund them, right? And for Ward 14, there's a lot of specific things that a lot of people have been looking to get done in the last 10 years here.
Now, the swearing-in ceremony here in council chambers will start at 6 o'clock. After that, the first time this council will meet in those chambers for real will be on Monday. Ian?
Thank you, Jordan. Charges have been upgraded after a deadly fight outside a Northwest McDonald's. 79-year-old Chu Man Yuen is now facing a manslaughter charge. The fight happened last Tuesday between two men police believe knew each other. The injured man, also in his 70s, initially declined medical attention, but was taken to hospital a few hours later, where he died. Police believe someone tried to break up the fight, and they would like to speak to that person. Multiple homes have been heavily damaged by fire east of Calgary. A home under construction was engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived in Conrich early yesterday morning. Rocky View County says flames extended to 2 neighboring houses and 2 other properties received moderate damage. No one was hurt. The cause remains under investigation. Calgary art lovers are getting a rare chance to see some of the country's most iconic masterworks up close before they head to auction. A free exhibition is being hosted from Thursday to Saturday at Calgary's Norberg Hall. It features paintings from world-renowned Canadian artists, including Emily Carr, along with other group of 7 painters like Lauren Harris. But the prize piece of this collection comes from Jean-Paul Riopel and his untitled abstract painting valued at around $1.5 million. Auctioneers say this selection of artwork features some of the most celebrated pieces from highly historical and post-war artists across the country.
We welcome people to come in and take a look at these works of art. It really is in many ways like a museum viewing. What's special about these works of art is that many of them are appearing on the market for the first time, and many will go back into private collections once they're purchased. So it's a really rare opportunity to have a chance to see some of these incredible paintings.
Calgary was chosen as a key stop on this national preview tour because of the city's strong collector community. The art auction takes place in Toronto on November 26. And at $1.5 million, we'll have to save up our nickels for to make a bid on that.
Yeah.
The wind is really blowing out there right now.
It is in Calgary and even more so south of the city. Very gusty day today. We talked about the gusts. We talked about it also increasing our temperatures a little bit for today because this is a Chinook pattern that we're in. 11 degrees is where we're sitting at the moment at the airport. Gusts, though, 52 kilometers per hour. That's what's registering right now, but we did get above 60 in the city today. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thAvVW.com. We won't have the winds tomorrow, so we won't have as much heat tomorrow. Now, we're looking at gusts basically up to 60 kilometers per hour for the next couple of hours, and then things will calm down in those overnight hours, especially by 2 a.m. And so calm tomorrow, mainly bright, and a high of 9 degrees. And just to check out the wind speeds, check this out. 94 kilometers per hour is the max wind speed in Pincher Creek, and close to that in Lethbridge. And again, for us here in Calgary, 61, 76 in Medicine Hat. That's improving, though, as we go. It's already started to improve. All right, midnight tomorrow is the early bird prize deadline in the Hospital Home Lottery. You could win the $1 million Canmore condo built by Spring Creek, plus $25,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at CalgaryHospitalHomeLottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. It's already an award winner, and it's not even open yet. Just ahead, the Calgary Park honored for addressing the needs of people with dementia, and how the housing shortage is having an impact on local emergency shelters. The housing crisis is impacting those experiencing domestic violence. That's according to a new report by the University of Calgary School of Public Policy. The tight rental market means fewer women can escape violence by moving directly into housing, away from their abuser. This leads women and children to increasingly rely on shelters, and often they're staying longer while searching for permanent accommodations. The report shows the number of shelter beds available for survivors has increased 48% in Canada from 2016 to 2023, while Calgary's capacity has increased 95%. But those who work with survivors say even more is needed.
Women's shelters are finding they have to provide more and more beds because people are not leaving. They're staying for long periods of time. All this is because of the housing crisis. People cannot find a place to live, so they're stuck in these shelters.
Calgary police report domestic violence calls have gone up 3.6% over the last year and up 14.2% compared to the 5-year average. ATCO and the Women in Need shelter have expanded their partnership to save the nonprofit tens of thousands of dollars. ATCO Energy is contributing $120,000 over the next 2 years. It's also offering a discount rate to WINS to make it cheaper to power their retail locations. And ATCO employees are committed to ongoing volunteering. WINS estimates the savings will help them support 500 more people a month.
Amazing.
Okay. Yeah, that's a wonderful endeavor. We are counting down to Halloween, Friday night. It's getting closer.
It is.
Looking pretty good so far.
Looking pretty good, yeah. A slightly warmer forecast, but still a chance of showers and some cloud cover. We'll talk about this in just a second, but here's the story right now. See that camera bouncing around in the city? Yes, it's gusty out there. That's been the story today in Calgary and most communities in southern Alberta. And this is a look at maximum wind gusts. 94 kilometers per hour in Pincher Creek and 93 in Lethbridge. So Lethbridge, I was expecting 80, 93 is even further. So this has been a very windy day, dangerous winds in some areas, of course, and there's still a warning in place because of this, which we'll jump to in just a second. But Calgary got above 60 and 76 in Medicine Hat. Now, this is all starting to slowly calm down, but there is still the potential for the next 2 hours of getting 100 kilometer per hour gusts, which is why the warning is still in place for Crow's Nest Pass, Pincher Creek, Fort McLeod, down through the Cardston areas. So this warning will come to an end likely in the next couple of hours and be dropped by Environment and Climate Change Canada. Outside of that, there are no warnings in place, but it's still very windy. And again, calming down tonight, and calm winds for communities tomorrow, except for Medicine Hat, because you'll be closer to the system that's off in Saskatchewan. You'll still be gusting. All right, 11 degrees in Calgary, Drumheller, 14 in Brooks, double digits in through Lethbridge and Milk River. And there's that system that mainly now is moving out of Alberta and off into Saskatchewan. So certainly a weather maker for central and northern Alberta with some snowfall with this, freezing rain with this. It's creating a little bit of instability behind it. So there's this line of isolated showers. That's the potential in southern Alberta for the next couple of hours. So 30% chance of showers, of seeing anything in Calgary specifically. All right, then this clears out. So tomorrow, it's really just sunshine and calm winds. But let's talk about the big day, Halloween Day. This is how it starts off, lots of sunshine. Then the clouds will start to roll in closer to those supper hours, and by 5:30, in between 5:30 and 7:30 p.m., there's even some isolated showers that will develop. Cochrane, Calgary, down Highway 2, that's the potential. Very isolated, but there's that 30% chance of seeing a couple raindrops out there around that trick-or-treating time. But at least around that trick-or-treating time, we will be above the freezing mark. 9 degrees for tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Again, mainly sunny for Friday, but the clouds increasing closer to those supper hours, trick-or-treating time. That's when we get into our 30% chance of showers. That's when the winds will pick up a little bit from 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. So not perfect weather, but not bad, because we're looking at a high of 9. By 5:30, the temperature in the city should be around 6 degrees. And then 16, so warm for Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud. Midnight tomorrow is the early bird prize deadline in the hospital home lottery. Now you could win the $1 million Kenmore condo built by Spring Creek plus $25,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at calgaryhospitalhomelottery.com.
Calgary Park has won an award for being Canada's first dementia-inclusive park. The Martin Family Legacy Garden is under construction in the community of Dover. It features elements based on dementia research, such as sensory gardens and special seating in shaded areas. The park is strategically located next to the Greater Forest Lawn 55+ Society and a block from the Complex Dementia Care Centre at Bethany Riverview. The 2025 Parks Excellence Award was given by the Alberta Recreation and Parks Association. The park is set to open next year. When it comes to a pension, most Albertans seem to be happy with what they've got. Coming up, rising opposition to the idea of an Alberta pension plan. Interest rate cuts in both Canada and the United States today. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich Carmeli Advisory Group. And Liana, both the Bank of Canada and the U.S. Federal Reserve are lowering rates.
That's right, and they both cut rates by 25 basis points. So that quarter-point cut was largely expected by the markets on both sides of the border. Now, the U.S. one going forward, there's a bunch of question marks surrounding it because there is less data available to the U.S. Fed to make additional decisions, obviously with the U.S. government shutdown going on. So lots of question marks about future decisions on that front. On the Canadian side of the border, though, the Bank of Canada signaled this morning that they might actually be done cutting rates. Like, this might be the point where they stop and say, this is sufficient, this will help keep the economy growing, but not growing too fast to overheat inflation again. That actually played into the trade today, with many investors seeing that as possibly a bad thing, given the fact that borrowing money won't get any cheaper for businesses and therefore won't fuel the additional growth that they were hoping for. But basically, depending on whether you're a borrower or a saver, that was either good news or not so good news with the quarter-point cut today.
And if you're nostalgic for Zellers, some people are, you are in luck.
Yeah, it's one of those nostalgic heritage, I guess, Canadian brands, and it's coming back again. Now, there was the pop-up that happened over the last year or two in Hudson Bay stores. Obviously, now that Hudson Bay has closed, Zellers brand has been acquired, and they will be opening again, with their first location opening tomorrow in Edmonton at Londonderry Mall. Now, they are planning on bringing back some of that value feel. They're not looking to compete with the Amazons or the Walmarts of the world, but they are hoping to offer value in the areas that they can. They are talking also about some food and beverage concepts, but not necessarily the Zellers diner that we remember. But as they do have license to all of those trademarks, it should feel like a pretty familiar experience for those people who head to Zellers starting in Edmonton tomorrow.
Okay, Liana, thanks very much.
Thank you.
The Léger poll we reported on earlier also shows the majority of Albertans continue to oppose the idea of an Alberta pension plan. In the online survey, Léger asked over 1,000 Albertans if they believe the Alberta government should create a provincial plan to replace the Canada Pension Plan. Between May and October, opposition to the idea increased to 60% from 54%, and support dropped to 21% from 29%. A provincial pension plan was one of the key issues explored by the Alberta Next panel. Léger says opposition has increased across most demographic groups. The final round in Alberta's new license plate competition includes a picture of Moraine Lake and the foothills with a pump jack and ranchers. Online voting wraps up November 5th, the chosen design being announced in mid-November. To vote, head to alberta.ca/pick-a-plate. The Alberta Federation of Labour is threatening a general strike if necessary. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The AFL says it will use all the tools at its disposal to make the Premier and UCP pay for attacking teachers and democratic rights. It comes as teachers return to school after being forced back by the province. Coming up at 6, students share what it was like in their classrooms today. Also ahead, in less than an hour, Calgary's new City Council is being sworn in. We'll be there live, and we'll have more on this council's priorities. We'll see you at 6. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. The sunny weather continues, although a strong west wind has moved into Calgary. It's rather gusty right now, and 11 degrees. Danielle has details coming up. I'm quite partial to the little spider in your graphic.
I know.
Because
like
spiders are cute. They really are.
No.
But you're going to show us the jack-o'-lantern this time, right?
Spiders don't scare me as much as bears. But I will say it's close enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not that close. Okay, 11 degrees current temperature. We got to 12 today. It all came with some very strong wind gusts. That's what got us there, because these were strong winds out of the west, which if you were outside at all today, you noticed it. Your hair noticed it, or your clothes, anything outside certainly wasn't in the same spot as where it originally was. 9 degrees is the temperature for tomorrow, so we won't be quite as warm, but the winds will be calm and the sun will be out. Friday, Halloween day. Small chance of showers by those supper hours, unfortunately, but we are looking at mainly cloudy skies as well. At least it won't be so cold. 9 is a high, and by trick-or-treating time, around 6.
Thank you, Danielle. If you're a fan of the rock band Queen or group sing-alongs, this event is for you. Choir is returning to Calgary. If you've never been to one of their events, the show turns the audience into performers. And don't worry, you are taught how to sing. This time around, the evening will feature Queen songs. The event takes place November 16th at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. Tickets are still available. Looks like lots of fun. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.